we have to sync up audio at all?
Nope, we do not.
Okay. There was a hair on my microphone.
Oh, gross.
I don't know how it got there.
Well, was it from you or?
I don't think so.
Well, hey, Austin.
Hey, Caleb.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back, guys.
We're back.
Episode 11.
I hope that doesn't make a lot of sound.
That'll make a ton of sound.
Okay.
No, I'll make sure to up the audio right in that spot right there, so it's just super annoying for everybody that listens.
We're back.
Yes, we're back. It's been a while, people.
It's been a while.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I don't think we needed the break. The break happened, the 1 week break we took, because it's like my favorite time of year of sports, and my beloved Boston Red Sox were playing a winner take all game on the night that we were supposed to record.
I mean, hey, that's the problem about your topic literally having to watch it too, is that sometimes it gets in the way of
Sometimes it
recording.
gets in the way.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet, it was either yesterday or 2 days ago. Some girl tweeted about, being into TV shows and, waiting like every week or like whenever shows drop.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, but boys, their TV show is sports and there's a new episode every single day.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, that's relatable.
That's so real, actually.
It's like, it's always happening. There's always something I could potentially be talking about.
Yeah, it's like with like video games too. Like you don't need to wait for a game if you already have it. You can just hop on and play.
Right.
The entertainment's right there. Like I can load up Skate, which I've been playing a lot recently.
Yeah. You like it?
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's definitely a modern version of the past Skate games. So
That's good.
yeah,
I think that's probably what everybody wanted.
exactly. I just wish there was a Hall of Meat, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. It's already pretty good. So
So you've been playing Skate. I watched my favorite baseball team lose. So we're doing great.
Yep. Well, should welcome.
Welcome everybody back to Balls and Blasters. This is episode 11.
Yes, we hit double digits, and then we said we can't stop now. And I bet you we worried some people by not posting last week. But Balls and Blasters, Austin, what do we do here at Balls and Blasters?
Here at Balls and Blasters, we like to inform each other about our respective topics. I inform Caleb about balls being sports. I find topics that I find interesting that Caleb might not fully understand or might not even know anything about. And I try to teach Caleb about them. And Caleb, what do you do?
Well, I'm the blaster side, and I will take some nerdy topics, pop culture of like movies, video games, comic books. I think we talked about even like anime and stuff previously, and I'll teach Austin about that type of nerdy stuff.
Heck yeah. And usually we decide who goes first by playing a little bit of rock, paper, scissors. I didn't update, or did I update our board last?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. 7 + 3 = 10.
It does.
So.
It does. I was gonna make that. Austin is unfortunately leading 7-3.
Doing good out here. We're doing real good.
And you know what we say to that?
Yeah.
So if Austin wins, he will go first on his topic, and it'll be the first half. If I win, I will go first on my topic, and it'll be the first half.
Absolutely. Just as a heads up, my topic will be a continuation from episode 10. If for those who remember, episode 10, my side was me talking about baseball and hitting statistics, basic hitting statistics. I originally planned to segue into pitching statistics in baseball, but then I kept rambling and decided to separate the two. So this will be a continuation, at least on my end, from last episode. And then after that, I have some hockey and football topics planned. So
very, very nice.
Tis the season.
A little part 2. All right, Austin, shall we start?
We shall.
All right. 70% so far. Let's see how high you can get it, I guess. Yeah, on shoot, right?
On shoot. I was worried you wouldn't say it.
Yup, well, that's crazy. All right, Austin.
Woo!
Austin is 8-3 now. He's getting up to change the board.
You're damn right.
I'm not smart enough to get the percentage wise now, but that's above 70%. I know that.
Certainly above 70%. We love to see it. Draw my little octopus, my 8.
Octopus.
Get it? Because it's
Octo. I thought ocho. That's what it is.
I mean, octo in like a math sense means 8, right?
Oh, really?
Well, octagon.
Oh, octagon. Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
right.
I mean, I'm not that I'm some math whiz or anything.
You're the sports guy. You're supposed to have like muscle for brains.
Exactly. That's why I wear tight shirts and go to the gym every day.
All right, Austin. Enough about your tight shirts. Let's hear some pitching.
Oh, actually, just wild random thought. Just because I looked down and saw it, Caleb, would you be able to tell me what color these pants are?
In this podcast lighting, they look really, really dark blue.
Really?
Like really, really dark blue.
Because when I was surfing Amazon and when I made my order, this was supposed to be navy blue.
No, it doesn't look navy blue. It looks like one more shade of darkness. It would be black.
That's what I'm saying. Like it hurts my eyes to look at them because my eyes my mind is telling me they should be navy blue, but my eyes are saying black.
They look black in the camera. You can see
Yeah.
it. They look black in the camera.
Right. I was trying to spice up my wardrobe a little bit, and Amazon wouldn't let me. Anyways, on to the balls section of Balls and Blasters. Here I go. You ready, Caleb?
I am ready. We learned about batting last week, so now we do the opposite.
Now we do the opposite. Now we're learning about the guys that try to create offense in baseball. Now we're going to learn about the guys that try to prevent offense in baseball. So, to start off, I would like to define the differences in types of pitchers that baseball has, because not all pitchers are the same. We love them equally, though. What is a starting pitcher? Caleb, do you know what a starting pitcher is?
If I can go by the name, the starting pitcher is the pitcher who starts the game.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yes.
Starting pitcher is the guy that will start the game for a baseball team. Each baseball team nowadays carries anywhere from 5 to 6 starting pitchers. So every 5 or 6 days, a starting pitcher goes on the mound to start the baseball game. Once upon a time, starting pitchers were originally tasked with pitching as deep into the game as possible, which is still their primary goal now. But like way back then, starting pitchers in a 9-inning baseball game would throw 9, 10, 11 innings, however long the game lasted, and they would throw around, it's like sometimes 150, 200 pitches.
Jeez, so they were literally trying to stay in the game the longest they could.
Right. As long as they could. And that might seem wild to a baseball fan nowadays. You also have to understand back then, pitchers weren't throwing as hard, so that motion wasn't as taxing on their arm as it once was. And we just weren't smart enough to know that maybe that isn't smart.
Yeah, constant, extended use
right
over a short period of time.
Correct. So that eventually evolved into nowadays a starting pitcher will... the main goal for a starting pitcher is to get anywhere from 5 to 7 innings. Around 100 pitches is usually kind of the threshold of okay, we got to get this guy out of here.
Mm-hmm.
A combination of science and analytics saying that's about the high end of what they should be pitching, and relievers factoring into that equation as well, which we will get to. So yes, usually limited to around 100 pitches these days instead of the 200 pitches they used to throw. And I had mentioned a 5-man rotation or a 6-man rotation. Another way starting pitchers can be judged is there is 9 batters in a batting order. And generally, you want a starting pitcher to get through the batting order 3 different times. So they face everybody 3 times.
27.
Correct. 27 batters. Of course, pitchers don't get outs normally
Yeah.
on every single at-bat plate appearance.
Little knowledge from last time.
So sometimes once they get to that second or third time through the batting order, they're only in the third inning. And their pitch count gets up and you have to take them out. So that's kind of how the starting pitcher role has evolved. It's essentially how close to 100 pitches are you and how many times through the batting order have you gone? Why 2 or 3 times? Most batters and most lineups get better the more they see a pitcher, the more they're able to adjust to him, as well as typically a pitcher's pitching diminishes as the game goes on. So pitcher diminishing versus the batters seeing them more often leads to better results for the batter.
Gotcha.
So that's what a starting pitcher is. Now we have what's called a relief pitcher. And they hang out in a little area called the bullpen.
The bullpen.
The bullpen.
Is that where they just keep logging balls?
I think I tried looking it up. I couldn't find or maybe I forgot to look it up. I was going to look up why bullpen, but I don't know why it's called the bullpen, if I'm being honest with you. Maybe it's because they got all, I don't know. I was going to say something. I don't know.
Maybe it's because they're ready to get out there and start just throwing.
I mean, if you think of like a bull riding competition, you know, you got the rider on top of the bull and they're like in a cage and then you let the cage go and whoo, you know. But hailstorm of bucking and tumbling ensues. Yeah. So I guess
that's what happens when you pitch.
I guess there are some psycho relievers out there that as soon as they enter the game from the bullpen, they are pretty wild. A relief pitcher, Caleb, what do you think a relief pitcher is?
He or she relieves the starting pitcher.
Correct.
It's in the name again. Their baseball is pretty simple.
They try not to make it super difficult when it comes to naming things. Relief pitchers come into the game after the starting pitcher finishes their outing. Starting pitchers, as we kind of discussed before, can be removed due to high pitch count, poor performance, or injury. Most relievers work 1 to 2 innings at a time. There is a philosophy with relievers. How about we'll explain it like this. Growing up, basically every pitcher that has made it to the big leagues, sometime throughout their career was a starting pitcher. And then they got drafted, scouted, developed, and their organization was like, you're not a good starting pitcher, but you could become a good relief pitcher.
You can give our guy a break. Like, because you're good enough to pitch, right, but you're not. We don't want you out there for very long. Is that what I'm getting at, or hearing you say?
Essentially, what it is starting pitchers usually have at least three really good pitches that they can locate at any time throughout the game, and they have good command of their pitches. They know where the pitch is going when they throw it. Relievers usually only have 1 or 2 pitches that are Major League Baseball level quality pitches. Starting pitchers also are able, if given the opportunity, to pitch into the 6th, 7th, 8th inning. Their pitching is good enough to get them through those late innings, whereas relievers are failed starters kind of most of the time that cannot make it that far into baseball games. So instead of trying to force you to pitch innings you can't pitch, what if we narrow your workload, you specialize in 1 or 2 pitches, and then we throw you out there for a little burst at a time?
And kind of changes up how the batters have to react to the pitches.
Absolutely. And to go off that point, relievers are brought into the game in matchup scenarios. So the hardest hitter-pitcher matchup is typically a left-handed hitter versus a left-handed pitcher. So if you think about it, there's just more righties in the world. Most hitters are righty. Most pitchers are righty. So you're used to seeing a right-handed pitcher, regardless of the side of the plate you're on when you're a hitter. There's not that many lefties.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know the science behind it, but there's something about same versus same. Lefty versus lefty is difficult for the hitter. I don't know if it's because it looks like the lefty is about to throw the ball at them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Or what it is. It's probably a lot to do with there's not a lot of left-handed pitchers in the world. And usually the best ones are playing Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing is to be a pitcher of any kind in Major League Baseball, you have to be a certain level of excellent at something. There's not a lot of lefties, which means as soon as there's a lefty that's even kind of good, they're bringing them up to play Major League Baseball as soon as they can. So you're not only are you facing a left-handed pitcher, you don't see a lot of lefties. These lefties are really good.
Yeah. Like they've been like trained to be elite.
Right. Which is why left-handed relief pitchers are very, very sought after in free agency. Because they're few and far between, the good ones anyways.
We're both right-handed. Have you ever tried to throw with your left hand?
It's ugly, but yeah.
Yes, it's like I don't know how you can get such a good like toss back. This for the audio listeners. I'm doing a throw with my right hand, like a fake throw. It's like cha.
Mm-hmm.
I can't replicate that with my left.
It's so weird, especially when you don't ever try to do it.
Yeah.
It like if I have like a paper towel and I want to throw it into a garbage can, like that motion, I can do left or right-handed.
Anything behind the back.
Yeah, a football, a baseball.
No go.
No go. I agree. Have you tried shooting? So when you shoot a basketball, are you right-handed?
Yeah.
Have you tried shooting left-handed?
I don't think I have. Is it hard?
That's even harder.
Really?
Especially, this is a weird tangent, but if you're shooting basketball, a lot of people will have with their jump shot, they lean or have their feet set a certain way. Mm-hmm. So if you try to shoot left-handed, you have to mirror that.
Oh.
Normally, yeah. And it's not an okay feeling.
Or you could be like me and don't move your feet at all.
Whatever works, and baby.
Say swish every time. I'm saying.
True facts. Don't look it up. So most relievers work 1 to 2 innings at a time. Relievers typically throw harder because they have to work less. So they're allowed to empty the tank in that short amount of time. Relievers are often used every other day, every couple days, and sometimes 2 to 3 days in a row.
Okay.
Just because each appearance they throw less. So they, in theory, should be able to recover quicker to be used again.
Gotcha.
But say a relief pitcher does empty the tank 3 days in a row, they're probably not pitching for the next 2 or 3 days.
Just because it's probably the same as if you were a starter.
Right.
As well.
Correct. And each team usually carries one long reliever. A long relief pitcher is a guy that's somewhere between not really good enough to be a part of the starting rotation, but we think he's not the best use as a 1-inning guy. So if a starting pitcher has a really bad outing or he gets hurt in like the second inning, then you bring in the long reliever and he can go out there and eat 3-4 innings.
Okay, so he's more of a safe bet of like
right. It's like we're not really expecting a whole lot out of you. Just give us innings.
Gotcha. Like you're not expecting the world of him, but you're also like he can maybe not keep it from them going like 8-0.
Right. Hopefully keep the lead in check. Save your bullpen. Save your other relievers from extra work that they don't really need. And another important thing to know about pitching: starter gets taken out of the game. You bring in a relief pitcher. There is a rule in baseball called the 3-batter minimum. So you bring in a relief pitcher, and they have to face 3 guys. 3 batters.
Except that they're injured, right?
Right. If they're injured, then they can get taken out. That would be unfortunate.
that'd be crazy. Like, no, you've got to finish this last guy out.
So 3 batter minimum. I'm trying to remember off the top. I should know this. I really should. I don't think once the inning ends, you can just take him out. I think you still have to. I think it's like no matter what, you have to face 3 unless you're hurt. Why is that a rule? Because I had mentioned matchups, right?
Mm-hmm.
Certain relievers are really good at getting certain types of hitters out. Managers, and it got really bad in like the playoffs, would bring in a reliever to face 1 batter. They would get that batter out in 3 pitches. The manager would go back out there and be like, all right, shake his hand. Your night's done. Bring in the next guy.
So he was like, he was just like that guy versus that batter the whole night, pretty much.
Yeah. And you would see managers go out to the mound and change pitchers 5, 6, 7 times. And that's part of what started to extend baseball games so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, maybe if we cut down on how many times that we're
They're
going
already
to the mound.
super long.
Right. So that 3 batter minimum does exist. Yeah, managers will play the matchup game. Lefty is tough. Best relievers versus the best hitter. Sometimes it doesn't matter what arm your pitcher throws with, what side the batter hits on. It's like, I got my guy, you got your guys. Let's go. Let's see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on. So we talked about the long reliever, right? There are 2 other kinds of relievers. There's one guy called a setup man and another guy called a closer.
I can guess what one of these guys are. I know I can guess both of them.
Okay.
I'll start with the closer because that's pretty easy. That guy, he can't be doing much more like till the end, right?
Right.
Like he's like the last inning.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. The setup guy.
Mm-hmm.
He sets up the closer.
Correct.
Yes. Yes. If we're going chronologically.
Setup man Dwayne Wade to closer LeBron James. For my basketball fans out there, as long as we're talking basketball. There used to be, so once upon a time, remember, starting pitcher, you're throwing as many pitches as possible. You're going to get through this entire game. We're not bringing anybody else. You're throwing 200 pitches if that's what it takes. It evolved into, well, we still want our starters to pitch as long as possible and still throw a decent number of pitches. What if, with our bullpen guys, we realize these guys are important to our team's success? What if our starter pitches 7 innings, our second best reliever works as the setup man and pitches the 8th inning, and then we bring in a closer to pitch the 9th inning, and that's how we complete our game.
Gotcha.
So in a scenario where you're winning.
So would it be nowadays? It'd be closer, first 3 innings, 3 to 4 innings, then the reliever for a 5 and 6, and then another reliever for maybe 6 and 7, set up for 8th, and then closer for 9th.
Right. You used closer at the beginning, but I'm assuming you meant start.
Oh yes, starting. Sorry.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
I was just letting you cook.
My brain worked too fast.
Yes.
My mouth.
Nowadays, a typical philosophy would be we our starter, if you can go 5 innings, we'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
6, 7.
God, I hate us.
I don't even need to explain for the audio only fans. They already know what happened. Will be a reliever. The relievers depend on matchups, what the game score is, and then 8th setup, 9th closer. That's a standard game from the pitching staff. So the setup man, usually it's not always a defined role. Some teams do have a guy where it's like, this guy is nails in the 8th inning. He's coming out every single time. It does not matter who's up.
Mm-hmm.
Some teams have 2, 3 guys they could throw in that situation. Most teams, and not all teams, because there's not many elite closers in the game, but most teams try to have a 9th inning guy, a guy you bring in to close the game. Closer comes into the game for saves and finishes the game. Typically the best arm in your bullpen. Typically. Not everybody is built to be a closer. Why? It's a different kind of pressure to be put out there to be the one to end the game.
Yeah, I can imagine too, if you're only up by 1 run, it's a lot. You have a lot of just pressure and anxiety on you.
Exactly. And not a lot of guys are built for that role. There are several relievers in Major League Baseball that you throw them in the 6th inning of a 2-1 ball game, and they're one of the best relievers in the league. You throw them in the 9th inning in a 2-1 ball game, and they completely melt down. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the pressure gets to people. That's why, if you're a closer, you're going to get paid more than what these other relievers are going to get.
And you're also the most trusted to just,
yes,
like, hey, we're winning. Just keep us there.
Shut it down, baby. Mm-hmm. Shut it down. All right. I think that pretty much covers our different types of pitchers we have. Do you have any questions, Caleb?
No. So we have the starter who starts the game. Relievers who are kind of like sprinkled all in there between the starters and the closers. Have the setup pitcher or guy who sets up the closer, and the closer is your best guy who closes out the game.
Correctamundo. You can think of the other relievers as middle inning relievers too. Like I said, they don't make it start, middle, close, end.
Yeah, they're like the side characters.
Yeah, pretty much
in the pitching.
The side characters that if you're a diehard fan of your baseball team, there are relief pitchers you love, and there are relief pitchers that you just can't stand.
Oh, this guy. What is he doing here?
If you know, you know. Okay, so let's get into some basic pitching stats. We're not going to cover the best pitching stats, but we're going to cover the ones that most people will see on TV, the ones that are easy to understand once explained, hopefully.
Yes, if I can understand it, you can understand it.
As a base, the first things I want to talk about are innings pitched, games started, and relief appearances. So, innings pitched, if you go out there and an inning is defined as 3 outs. As soon as the other team makes 3 outs, you have completed an inning pitched. And it gets a little messy because sometimes if you're a starter, you get pulled from the game at 5 2/3 innings.
Oh,
it's another thing about baseball is innings are divided into thirds because there's 3 outs. So if you pitch 5 innings, you get the first 2 batters out. The manager comes out there, says you're done. You've pitched 5 2/3 innings. If a reliever comes in and they get the last out of that 6th inning and pitch the 7th inning to completion, get all 3 outs in the 7th, they pitched an inning and a third.
Okay, so neither one gets full credit for
that inning that they split. Yes, it's all depending on how many outs you complete. So, reliable starters will start around 30 games in a season. Why 30? It's just mainly because when you have a 5 to 6 man rotation, that's just how the math works with a 162 game schedule. 162 divided by 5, a little bit more than 30. So if you can, with rest days and managers doing what managers do, if you can get to 30 starts, you're a healthy, reliable starting pitcher.
Gotcha.
That is what a lot of guys really, really respect. And I think I mentioned something about this in the last episode about position players posting up, meaning you play all the games. You're always out there every single day.
You put in the work.
Right. You're not hurt. You're going out there and you're eating innings and getting outs. So if you think of another milestone for starting pitchers is 200 innings pitched. This 200 innings pitch used to be more common. Now it's more reserved for the best starters in the game because analytics has kind of made it where starters are going to come out of the game earlier. So it's just harder to reach that 200 inning pitched mark. But the aces of a pitching staff, the best starter that they have, they are going to approach, if not exceed, 200 innings pitched. So 200 innings pitched divided by 30 games started. Pitchers are pitching about 6 2/3 innings per game, which is really, really good. If you have a pitcher like that, you love him, you hold on to him, you pay him.
Yeah. He's your full first part of the game too.
Right. And, it goes back to that 7, 8, 9 philosophy. Starter for 7, set up 8, closer 9. That's the dream. That's the dream for all organizations. Then relief pitchers usually don't get measured in innings pitched, just because you're not going to get a lot of innings pitched when you're only pitching 3 batters at a time most of the time. So relievers can log anywhere from 50 to 80 appearances, but typically well below 100 innings pitched.
Gotcha. So they're in more games, but not as many innings.
Correct. If you see somebody approaching 80 appearances, I mean that's a workhorse.
Yeah.
Think about it. A relief pitcher pitching 75, 80 times a year, and there are guys every year that reach that threshold. You're going out there like every other day.
Yeah. I mean that's roughly at least 80 innings
Right.
pitched.
And it's if you're a reliever and you reach 80 appearances in a season, like that's fine. That means you're trusted. You got outs most of the time. That's good. That's what they want from you. It is bad business to be a manager, to be an organization, and be like, you're going to pitch 80 times a year, year over year over year, because you will wear out that arm.
Oh, yeah, because they're usually going way harder than most pitchers, too.
Correct. Exactly. So a lot of the elite, really good relievers are somewhere between, 60 to 70 appearances, somewhere in that ballpark. 60 appearances would be good. That's you're pitching every third day almost. So kind of some way to think about that. So that was kind of my little spiel on innings pitched, games started, relief appearances. That all make sense to you?
Yes, it very much did.
Cool. Let's get into a stat, a very basic stat, the most common pitching stat, called earned run average, ERA.
What does this mean, Austin?
Earned run average is the number of earned runs a pitcher gives up per 9 innings.
Oh, so it's a bad stat.
It can be.
Oh, like the higher it is, it's bad. Like
Correct.
Golf.
Yes.
Okay.
So last episode when we talked about hitting stats, I had said, if you're a hitter, most of your stats, the higher they are, the better, unless they're strikeouts.
Yes.
For pitchers, the inverse is true. The lower your stats are, the better, which reflects the mano-y-mano battle that baseball is.
Except for strikeouts.
Correct. Then you want those to go really high, if at all possible. So the ERA, the earned run average formula, is 9 for 9 innings times how many earned runs you've given up, and then you divide that by your innings pitched. How many innings pitched you have. So I should define what an earned run is as opposed to an unearned run. And an earned run is, so pitcher throws the ball, the batter hits it, it's a base hit, he gets on base. The pitcher is responsible for that runner. He's the reason he got on base. He threw a pitch that the batter could hit.
So is this also where first base is 1 and then 4 is a home run?
No, not for pitchers.
Okay.
Not for pitchers. Because you're referencing slugging percentage.
Yes.
We're not going to talk about the stat today, but there is a slugging percentage against statistic to show you, like, does this pitcher give up damage?
Gotcha.
But that does not equate into this particular, into earned run average. So our runner, if pitcher throws the ball, batter hits it, clean, no issues, gets on first base, pitcher is responsible for that runner. That runner comes around to score, then the pitcher is clocked for 1 earned run.
Okay. So a run. Oh, I guess it's a home run versus on base. Okay.
So, in the same sense, a runner that reaches base via an error or a passed ball does not count as an earned run. That would be an unearned run. So, pitcher throws the ball, batter hits it to the shortstop, and the pitcher chucks it the shortstop chucks into the stands. Then the shortstop is assessed an error. It's not the pitcher's fault at that point that the runner reached base.
It's not his fault that your team freaking sucks.
Right. Not his fault the shortstop was trying to hit the cute chick in section 6, row C. Okay. So that would be an unearned run if that base runner comes in to score. Does that make sense?
It does. So if it's the pitcher's fault, or if it's the pitcher's fault, it's an earned run. And if it's outside of what they did,
right,
like their team should be able to stop that, but they didn't.
Correct. Pitcher gives up a hit, or he walks the guy, hits him with a pitch. That's the pitcher's fault. He's responsible for that runner. Runner comes all the way around to score. He gets tagged for it. I think there is a scenario where if the run, say the pitcher gives up a hit, runner's on first, he steals second base, and then so the runner's on second, batter hits the ball, and the runner tries to advance to third, and one of the fielders overthrows the third baseman. That would be an error, and then the base runner scores. I don't know if that's an earned run or not, but that's a really complex situation that doesn't happen all the time. Pitcher's fault, the runner's on base, he's responsible for it. Not, he's not. Do you have anything to say?
No, it's pretty easy to understand.
ERA is a decent tool to evaluate starters. It is a bad tool for relievers.
Oh, because they only pitch so many innings, and if somebody's just having a killer game, because it's divided by how many innings
pitched.
Yeah.
I have. So you will see relievers in the beginning of the season that have like 150 ERA. So for reference, for starters, I want to reference this for starters. If you have an earned run average of 4.0 or somewhere in the fours, right around 4, that's you're okay. You're fine.
Oh, so just like 4 earned runs,
right? Over a 9-inning stretch.
Yeah. Okay.
You're considered okay. You gave up 4. You're okay. You're probably one of the bottom tier starters, but you're okay. If you're somewhere around a 3.0 ERA, less than 4, a little bit higher than 3, that would be a good starting pitcher. They're only giving up about 3 runs a game. Okay. If you pitch 6 innings, you only give up 3 runs. That's a quality start. Actual stat. If you have a pitcher that has around a 2.0 ERA, less than 3, a little bit higher than 2, that's one of the best pitchers in the game.
Yeah, say they only give up 2 runs on average a game.
Right. So kind of some level of idea of what to look for when you're seeing ERA, which is why if you have a reliever enter a game in the 5th game of the season and he gives up 8 runs over 1/3 of an inning because he faced 7, 8 batters, only got 1 out.
7 Barry Bonds.
only got 1 out. They took him out of the game. His ERA is going to skyrocket to be astronomical, and because you don't pitch that many innings, it will take him, even if he's like really effective for the rest of the year, it will take him almost the entire season to get that number back down to a respectable level.
Because essentially, if he pitches 1 inning and he gives up 1 run, that's a 9.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, so that's why ERA it's fine for evaluating a starter. It doesn't tell the whole story. It's fine. Bad for relievers.
Yeah. So I'm guessing they don't go off that statistic.
No, they use other stats, and we might mention a couple in a little bit here. Kind of. We will. I just want to look at time here. Okay. So earned run average. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. The next one I want to talk about is called whip.
Whip. Like Stewie? Whip.
Whip. WHIP, WHIP acronym, is it's one of those stats where the equation is in the name.
Mm-hmm. Walks. Hits.
Mm-hmm.
Innings.
Mm-hmm. You're so
Plates.
no
Pitches.
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. WHIP, WHIP stands for walks plus hits divided by innings pitched.
Okay. I was close.
You're very close. I'm very impressed.
Thank you. I was like, I only know like one thing that's W.
Walks plus hits divided by innings pitched. This stat will show how good a pitcher is at preventing a base runner. So if earned run average ERA is a stat to show how good a pitcher is at preventing runs, preventing guys from coming across the plate and scoring runs, WHIP is a measure of how often a pitcher allows runners to get on base.
I'm guessing this is a pretty accurate stat to decide how good a pitcher is.
Me personally, I like WHIP a lot.
Yeah.
There are some analytical, like very analytical people that'll tell you it's not a perfect stat, and there is no perfect baseball stat. That's the first thing people should know. But WHIP is generally a good indicator. If you're not letting people get on base, there's not a lot of people that are going to score on you.
I mean, you can, if you're a good pitcher, you should be able to have a pretty good score,
Right.
Theoretically.
So it doesn't consider how a runner reaches base. Because as we discussed for batters, home runs are better for their stats than a single is in some sense. The inverse, home runs are worse for a pitcher than a single is. A home run is going to affect their ERA.
Yep.
As well as their WHIP, because that technically is the guy that gets on base, right?
Oh, so it doesn't matter if you get on first base or third base?
Right. It's just walks plus hits.
Gotcha.
And then, because if you only give up a single, singles are fine in baseball. If you're a pitcher, you'll give up a single, no problem. Singles don't hurt you unless you give up 3, 4, 5 in a row.
Yeah.
Then singles hurt. But
because it takes 4 singles to get a home run, and if you can get one single and then one out, one single, one out, one single, one out, there's no home runs.
Right. So, of course, the more singles you allow, the higher your WHIP goes. But if you allow a bunch of singles but none of them score, then your ERA is low, but your WHIP is high. So it's a balancing act. That's why in baseball you have to really you can't use, like I said, one statistic to define a player. You have to look at a bunch of them, which is why I want to go over some of these stats. That way you can look at all of them and get an idea of.
Oh, I would love to do that, Austin. Let's go.
So, things that don't count when calculating WHIP, walks plus hits divided by innings pitched. If it's not a walk, it's not a hit. It doesn't go into the stat. So hit by pitches don't count. They reach by an error, it doesn't count. They reach by a fielder's choice, it doesn't count. Which is why some of the more analytical people will tell you they don't like it. Because it doesn't really tell you how many times someone gets on base. But
see, I'm surprised that hit by pitches aren't included in that, because you feel like whoa. You feel like that's like hey, you pitch so bad you hit the guy.
Right. It is a little interesting as to why that never got put into the equation. My guess is that hit by pitches don't happen often. So they just don't include it. That would be my guess. I don't know. Can't confirm that.
Or you just really hate the guy you're pitching against.
So, okay. That's about all I have on WHIP. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, you're doing a very good job explaining.
Alrighty, we can move on.
Hopefully the audience picks up what I'm putting down.
Audience, are you getting it? You can pause to think about it if you need.
Please answer.
I'm going to keep going now. Welcome back.
Thank you.
The next very basic stat for pitchers I want to talk about is wins versus losses and no decisions. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Did they win or lose the game? Wins versus losses is the least effective tool to define how good a starting pitcher is. All it indicates is that, congrats, dude, you pitched long enough and you were winning. Your team was winning when you left the game. Good on you.
Well, like if you have a great starter and a great closer and you're a relief pitcher and your team just wins all the time, but you absolutely are trash right in the middle, but they're still winning because you just have a great team, doesn't really reflect your stats in particular.
There is something to say for some of the best pitchers in the game. Oh, they started 30 games and they won 20 of them. There is something to say about that. Like, oh, hey, when this guy takes the mound, team usually wins. It's just not there's not really a direct correlation between winning games and being a good pitcher.
Gotcha.
Starters must pitch at least 5 full innings to qualify for a win. So if you pitch less than 5, you don't qualify. You can qualify for a loss, but you can't qualify for a win.
Really? That's interesting.
So, and then a pitcher in the game, when his team takes the lead for good, will receive the win. So, let's say starting pitcher pitches 5 innings, but the game is tied when he leaves the game. So he's not eligible for a win because his team is not winning when he left the game.
Oh, so the relief pitchers would never be eligible for this.
They could be.
If they pitch 5.
They don't have to pitch 5 because so in this scenario, if the starter leaves the game with the game tied, they're not eligible for the win. Somebody has to be eligible. So, which is why say the reliever comes in the game. Say before the reliever comes in the game, his team takes the lead. Then the reliever comes in the game and has a shutdown inning, doesn't give up the lead. Now he's in line for the win.
Gotcha. Okay, so somebody is, and if you bring your team ahead, you get to grab the win.
Pretty much, essentially. And on the opposite sense, the pitcher who allows the eventual winning run to reach base will receive the loss.
Oh.
So, say starting pitcher pitches 5 innings. It's 1-1 when he leaves. He's not eligible for the win. His team comes up to the plate, takes a 2-1 lead. They bring in a reliever to this team, and he shuts him down for that inning. He's now in line for the win, regardless of what his... So, now he's in line for the win. The reliever of the other team, or the starting pitcher, whoever it ends up being, that gave up that second run, they're eligible for the loss.
Okay, so their starting pitcher is in the clear now. He's like, I didn't do that.
Right. So, it's literally a back and forth act. Like, if you give up the run, if you allow the eventual game-winning run to get on base, you're eligible for the loss. If you're in the game when your team takes the lead, you're eligible for the win. Is a very basic way to think about it.
Gotcha.
And so, which is why, like, if you leave the game with the lead, it doesn't always mean you're gonna get a win. Say the starting pitcher pitches 5 1/3 innings, so he's eligible for the win, but he leaves 2 guys on base, and he's the reason they got on base. Then the reliever comes in, and those 2 runners score while the reliever is in the game. Those 2 runners are credited to the starting pitcher.
Gotcha. Because it's like, I didn't do that part.
Right.
I'm trying to make or fix your mistake.
Correct. Trying to clean up his mess.
Yeah.
So in that sense, then, the starting pitcher all of a sudden can be eligible for a loss. In our original scenario where the starting pitcher left with a 1-1 tie, or say they leave the game with a lead, and then the relievers give up the lead, so now they're losing, that's not the starter's fault. right?
Yeah.
That would be a no decision
Okay.
for the starter. So you'll see on a TV screen, you'll see the starter's win-loss record. This is their 30th game started of the season, and they're 15-6. Well, how can you start 30 games and only have decisions in 21 of them? That doesn't make any sense. No decision.
Gotcha.
They didn't get a win or a loss in those other starts.
It's like we don't know what to do with you, so we're just not gonna touch it.
So that's probably a little muddy, but again, wins and losses don't really matter when it comes to evaluating a pitcher. You're just gonna see it on a TV screen when a guy comes into the game. Okay, we will quickly go through my last two things here. Holds and saves. These are for relief pitchers. These are somewhat decent stats to look at for relief pitchers, especially at the end of the season when we're looking at leaderboards, who did the most of what. A hold is where a reliever enters a game with a lead of 3 runs or less and maintains the lead while recording at least 1 out.
Okay, so just keeping it. Hey, we're just gonna keep the score.
You got some outs, and we didn't lose the lead.
Yeah.
You get a hold, which you will see a lot of middle inning relievers that qualify for holds and will rack up a bunch of holds over the season. It's a stat. It's helpful in evaluating middle inning relievers. It's basically saying, okay, when we bring this guy in the game, we're not going to lose the lead, or we didn't lose the lead when we brought this guy in the game.
Yes, he didn't get us a lot of runs, but he also didn't give up a lot of runs.
Right. So again, very basic stat, but that's what the point of this is. Just it's essentially definition. So we talked about a hold. Now we want saves. Saves are for whoever closes the game. Save. Closer enters the game with a lead of 3 runs or less. Why 3 runs or less? So there's 3 outs in an inning, which means there's 3 batters guaranteed to come up to the plate. So if a closer comes into the game in the 9th inning with a 4-1 lead, it's possible, though not likely, that all 3 of those batters hit solo home runs, and now the game is tied.
Gotcha.
And so that's essentially why 3 runs or less.
And also, if you're like you're 4 ahead, you even if they do all 3 score, you're still in a good position.
You're still in position. It's still in a good position. So that's why the 3 runs or less rule for these stats. So closer enters a game with a lead of 3 runs or less and maintains that lead to finish the game. There is another way to get a save. Say this is a game where the starter pitches, maybe 5 innings, and he pitches fine, but his offense just goes off. Like, starting pitcher pitches 5 innings and he gives up like 2 runs, but his offense scores 12. So in that scenario where you're the winning team, you're up 12-2, you're up by 10 runs. You don't need to use all your big guns to finish that game.
Yeah.
So you bring in maybe your long reliever, and he pitches the last 3 innings of that game to finish it off. He's eligible for a save.
Okay.
Which I think is fair. It's like you ate up innings and you finish this thing out, you get a save.
We didn't expect you to do a lot, and you didn't do horrible for us.
So holds and saves. Those make sense?
Yes, sir.
Cool. I was going to touch on some basic rate stats, but I think those are maybe a tad too complex for my entire section, and I've also been talking for quite a long time now. But that is kind of my whole spiel. My follow-up to episode 10 here in episode 11 is basic pitching stats.
You wanted to do all this in one episode, because keep in mind, guys,
Yeah.
he wanted to do all last episode and all this episode in one episode.
When I was writing the notes down, I didn't realize when I was finishing the pitching stats that I had turned over the page already when I turned over the page. So then I looked back, I was like, that's a lot of freaking notes, man. And then I was rationalizing in my mind. I'm like, it's not going to take that long to go over this stuff. We'll just go boom, boom, boom. But then when I started talking about it, I'm like, I need to really dive in and give examples, explain different scenarios.
You know, like teach, like this podcast.
Like this podcast is supposed to do, or at least that's the goal, anyways. So, Caleb, do you have any questions on my topic? Anything that's looming large that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to you?
No, Austin, I can say you were a great teacher. I think I learned pretty well about pitching.
I'm happy that you let me nerd out on baseball. It's my favorite sport. It's the best time of year for baseball. So that, for those at home, that will be my last baseball spiel for a time. It's hockey season. Football's in the middle of the season. So we'll get some other fun topics out there for you. But, Caleb, I've talked long enough. I need a drink of water. Would you please introduce us into your half of the episode?
Well, yes. If I can get it loaded up here, my half of the episode. What the heck? Austin, while this loads, have you ever heard of the genre called RPGs?
RPG. Yes, I have heard of rocket propelled. No. Yes. At least I think. I should say I think. Let me throw out an educated guess here. Would RPG stand for role-playing game?
You would be correct, Austin. Yes. It does.
Score one for the good guys.
Well, this is taking a little bit. Austin, I guess I can lead into this. What RPGs have you heard of?
Before I give you that, for those audio listeners, Caleb was gifted a new note-taking machine.
I was it was my birthday last week. Also, that's part of the reason we didn't record.
Yeah.
So, just so you guys know,
everybody say happy birthday, Caleb.
Yes. Fun enough too. Me and him were exactly a month apart.
Crazy.
Isn't that wild? Yeah. So we got you coming next. Here we go. There, Jace Louise.
You had asked me what role-playing games have I heard of.
Yes.
I'm gonna take a bit of a cop out here. I'm sure I've heard of a decent number of them. Mm-hmm. But I really don't know which games would be classified as RPGs. And I think I always get RPGs and MMOs mixed up.
Well, Austin, something can be an MMO RPG.
Oh, really?
Yes, which we will get into today.
Sounds complex.
I'll give you a hint. You are playing this game right now. Or you have played it.
You talking about Assassin's Creed?
I am.
Okay.
The newer ones are role-playing games.
The newer ones. Why? Why not the older
ones? The newer ones? Because they have branching paths and no one option.
Gotcha.
Is
you're affecting the story.
Yes, you're affecting the story. Yes.
Okay.
So, role-playing games, my personal favorite genre of video games. The RPG stands for role-playing game. They include storytelling, a lot of math, weirdly enough, and imagination.
I like imagination.
Yes. When you play a role-playing game, imagination is a lot of the thing you need to put into it to make it come to life.
I agree with that.
Yes, where with other games like first-person shooters or just story games, like if you say like Uncharted, you don't really need to use a lot of imagination. Mm-hmm. With these, you need to imagine that, hey, you're this person in this world, and you're going around doing these things.
That makes sense.
That's kind of the foundation that RPGs are built off. And in the video game world, at least, RPGs have always been the number one pioneer of video game technology.
Okay.
Whenever you look at RPGs, which we'll get to the oldest to the newest, they're at the forefront of technological evolution in video games. So, Austin, I'm gonna have you take a guess. When do you think the first RPG ever was made?
First role-playing game. I feel like this is going to be an answer that shocks me. I'm just going to throw out a date. I'm going to go 1997.
You are 100 years off.
100 years off?
100 years off.
I was going to go 80s, but I was like, what if it is the 80s? I don't want to guess right. I wasn't going to guess right anyways.
So, you know what war games are?
Probably not the war games you're talking about. No.
War games were games that generals and military leaders would play to kind of simulate battles and kind of test each other without having to send soldiers to die.
Okay.
So you'd role play as a commander, and you'd have an army, and you'd face somebody else who was role playing as a commander and had an army, and you'd go against somebody or multiple people and move your troops, kind of almost like a total war game, if you know what those are, but just on a tabletop.
Gotcha. Is it akin to chess in some sense?
Yeah, like a really, really complicated chess.
Okay.
Like
I think chess.
Like, well, yeah, chess is very complicated.
Yeah.
You wouldn't consider chess a role playing game.
No.
But it's more imagining yourself, instead of imagining like you moving the pieces, imagine you're the piece.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it. So yeah, they would do that in the 1800s, and they are considered the first RPGs.
Interesting.
And then World War I and II, these are also very popular for generals to plan out their maneuvers before they would actually do them in the actual war.
Mm-hmm.
But then we have the first RPG ever. It's this game. It's a tabletop game called Chainmail. And you'd move medieval troops around and act as the general, which is considered the first commercial RPG.
It is considered the first commercial?
Yes,
okay.
Like which was sold to the public.
Okay.
You would play, you could buy this and play it, but it's not the most popular. Austin, can you guess what the most popular tabletop RPG is of all time?
Tabletop.
And started it all, pretty much.
Started it all. Tabletop RPG. Oh my goodness. I don't think I could.
There's even a movie about it now. With Chris Pine.
I don't know who that is.
Oh. Okay, what if I said D&D?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, Dungeons and Dragons. 1974, the first ever Dungeons and Dragons game came out.
I guess I don't know a whole lot about. I've heard of D&D, but I don't know really what it is.
D&D is RPGs at its most basic form. It's you get a character sheet with attributes and backgrounds and classes, and you fill this sheet out, and you and maybe 2 other people will all fill this out, and you'll be a party, and you have a DM, or dungeon master, who's also a player, but their role is to be the storyteller, and you're the characters in the story. And they'll have you face against different monsters or enemies or just different situations. But there's also like life elements too. Like a D&D game can be anything. Like it's not just fighting where your strength stat is important. You could be looking for, let's say, in a dungeon, and you're looking for a key, and you're trying to investigate. You would roll your dice for an investigation check, and if you hit a certain number, you would find the key. Okay. This is just an example, but yeah, D&D is you have this little board, you all have these sheets and all these die, and you roll for attack stats, and they're called D20s and D10s. Basically just die, and then how many numbers are on the die. The most common is the D20 though, and you just roll this and you get extra bonuses. stuff. But it's RPGs at its most basic form.
Gotcha.
But I mean, it is definitely the most. When you think of RPGs, it's probably the thing you think of first,
Okay.
or most people.
Is there like a winner to a Dungeons and Dragons game?
That's the great thing about it is your party wins.
Okay.
It only ends when you guys want it to end.
Okay. I get you.
And the DM, the dungeon master, is also part of the experience too, because they create everything, and they're all the NPCs on the tabletop. They're all the world events. They craft everything, so they get to be a part of the experience, even though they're not in the party.
Yeah. Okay. It's cool.
So yeah, this is. I mean, it's insanely popular.
Right.
It's still today insanely popular. It was in 1974, and it's still popular today. I think they're on their 5th edition, which is pretty cool because that means it doesn't get updated a whole lot. So
Right.
but yeah, little side note too. It caused something of a satanic panic. This is like people like worshiping like the devil and stuff because they're playing Dungeons and Dragons and there's like wizards and monsters. It's like okay.
I mean, that the mid to late 70s going into the 80s, that is around the time when rock and roll was becoming really, really popular, and that was considered like the devil's music.
Oh yeah, I mean everything was associated with the devil. Like you like literally like one half of like hard rock and then the other half of nerdy people in basements. So
just trying to lead our youth to the promised land.
So yeah, RPGs, they're tabletop games first and foremost. But that's not what we're going to talk about mainly today. I just want to talk about that Dungeons and Dragons is the basis of everything we're going to talk about today. And I want to start with the first computer RPGs. In 1979, there's this game called Akalabeth World of Doom. It's the first ever computer RPG, and it is as basic as computer games come. It is lines, portraits of monsters. You walk, and the lines look a little weird. Like, you don't see, there's not much graphics on it. It's just, hey, there's text here. There's a monster there. You kill that monster. You walk forward. There's text everywhere. This is what it is. I mean, it wasn't anything extraordinary, but for the time it was.
Right.
And then we have keep this name. We're gonna say it a little bit. Ultima. In 1981. This is where computer RPGs kind of got mainstream.
Okay.
This is even, some would say, even more basic than Akalabeth. Sorry, Akalabeth.
It's a hell of a name.
I know. I was trying to prepare to say this name before the podcast, and I could not. But Ultima, it's just, hey, it's the same thing. A lot of these early ones are pretty much the same thing. It's fantasy. You're walking around, killing monsters, getting loot and stuff. You know, there's world maps in these. There's inventory. There's there's save game states, which weren't really a thing. Like, you wouldn't have a save game state. But yeah, but obviously, like I said, imagination is key to RPGs. It was the most key thing in these games.
Okay.
Because instead of, like, you're walking through, it's just black and white lines outlining everything. So you have to imagine that you're in a dungeon that is like, it's mossy and cobblestone and stuff. But I want to touch on this game that I'm going to talk about, which might be its own subject in the future, because I have a great affinity for games of this, like Rogue in 1980. This is the game that the entire genre of roguelike is based off of. Okay. Do you know what a roguelike is, Austin?
No, I don't think I've even heard that term before.
So a roguelike, they're typically indie games, let's say now. But a roguelike is what is a basically you have one life in the game. There's the only time it saves is when you quit the game. And you cannot make multiple saves in the game. It's a permadeath game that you can't go back in.
Gotcha.
And your whole goal, the whole thing is you're not supposed to beat the game on the first try, the second try, the fourth try, the eighth try, the 100th try. You're supposed to keep going through the game and finding new stuff. And it's like Rogue was in 1980. Most games are procedurally generated of just the stuff in the game, but all the assets are handmade. So you maybe you'd get a sword one time, but you wouldn't find a sword until like 3 dungeons later.
Yeah.
In the next time.
Gotcha.
It's kind of a simple understanding of a roguelike. Yes, I definitely want to do a whole topic on that in the future because they are one of my favorite genres of games.
Cool. I'm interested.
All right. So
rogue, like, this is a subgenre of an RPG?
yes.
Okay.
Yes. But I would say it's gone to its own genre now.
Gotcha.
But it was a RPG when it first came out in 1980.
Okay.
Any more questions?
It's all making sense so far. Yeah. I guess I think it's cool that the RPG term basically started out as a board game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it makes sense that it has military backgrounds when you explain it like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really neat that it started off as essentially board games, tabletop, and it evolved into a video game setting. I think that's kind of neat.
Oh yeah, and I think when you look back on it, it was always destined for video games too.
Mm-hmm.
This type of medium where you would pretend to be somebody. It's like, what if you could see yourself be that person too?
Right. Weird question, because now you sparked my imagination here.
Yeah.
Sports games, MLB The Show. I'm playing Road to the Show, where it's a career mode where I make my guy and my character, and I try to become the best baseball player of all time.
Austin, would you believe me if I told you that is an RPG?
That
That is
okay.
It's an RPG is just you taking on the role of a character that it mostly is ambiguous.
Right.
You can kind of see yourself in the character.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of games where that's not the case. Like you are an actual character, but you can still see yourself, and you can make. There's 2 paths RPGs go is you make choices as a character that affect the story, or you can imagine yourself in the shoes of that or as the character, and you make choices. So choices are a big thing, which we'll get into in a little bit. Right now, actually. Sorry, right now. So we're gonna jump to the mid 80s and the 90s. Okay. Now we have 2 different genres of RPGs that came out in the worldwide RPG era. We have the Western RPGs and the JRPGs, or the Japanese RPGs.
Gotcha.
Now, funnily enough, can you tell me what you think is the more technical and which is the more story driven of the 2?
I might have the complete wrong train of thought here, but I'm thinking anime and the storytelling aspect of that. So I'm going to guess the Japanese would be more on that side of things, and the Western would be the more technical aspect.
Yes. You compared to how it is today, where it's almost flip-flopped, Japanese RPGs started out with a lot more storytelling and a lot easier gameplay.
Gotcha.
And then the Western RPGs, the opposite. I would say, I mean, there's still games with great stories, but the choices and the gameplay were more of the focus in Western RPGs.
Gotcha.
Whereas, like, the mechanics in Japanese RPGs, I mean, they were good. All these games were pretty great for their time, but there was more of a focus on
Right.
the storytelling and less of a focus on the gameplay aspects.
Mm-hmm.
So we have. So do you remember Ultima? Ultima 1 came out in 1981.
Yep, you had mentioned.
Can you guess when Ultima 4 came out?
Ultima 4. So we're going from 1 to 4.
Yes.
This is another game that I haven't heard of.
Don't worry, I haven't heard of it before I started researching.
Okay. 2005.
No, we are still in the 80s.
Oh, okay.
1985.
Okay, so
They were pumping them out.
One a year. Yeah,
Yes.
Gotcha.
But Ultima 4 is kind of the first of having moral choices in a video game where you choose a good or a bad option, and it kind of affects how the rest of the game plays out.
Right.
But yeah, little thing about Ultima 4, it kind of goes against the grain actually of what I said. It's the exact same as Ultima 1. Like like the gameplay is pretty much the same. It's pretty much similar to it. But then we have on the early side of the Japanese RPGs, we have Final Fantasy in 1987. Now, have you heard of Final Fantasy?
I have.
Yes.
Is there a bunch of them?
Oh, there are 16 Final Fantasies. There are 16 of them, and I think there's spin-offs too. So there's like tons.
A lot.
Yes. But I mean, this game had a simpler fighting mechanic. You can think almost like Pokemon, but like a team-based fighting, and the fighting was just there for the gameplay aspect of it's a video game, but the story was the main draw.
The mechanics are there to just progress the story.
Exactly. Like you go around, fight, like you'd pick like wind blast, fireball, hit with sword. You would just be turn based, but as you progress, the story is where you would actually be more engaged with the video game. Whereas in Ultima 4, it was the opposite. It was this game was one of the first games to have a character driven story rather than an overarching story.
Okay.
And they actually had arcs in the story, so there was different parts of the story were different arcs.
So the book is about a character, but each chapter,
essentially,
each chapter is a different part of this character's journey.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
You got that exactly right. Now moving ahead, we have the start. Actually, I know this is a game series that I've talked about before, and Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
Fallout started as an isometric RPG in 1997. By the way, released on my birthday. But I mean, I wasn't born yet. But 1997, released on my birthday. It was one of the first RPGs to computer RPGs, video game RPGs that kind of broke away from the mold of RPGs that are only fantasy.
Okay.
Because there were tabletop games that were like cyberpunk and sci-fi, but this kind of broke away from that. It's like, hey, they don't have to be all fantasy RPGs.
Right.
They can be different genres.
What is an isometric RPG?
So isometric, you would consider this a 2.5D.
Okay.
So instead of that's a great question, Austin. I'm glad because I was gonna brush over it. Isometric is, which actually a lot of these games are. Now that I think about it, a lot of the assets, they don't have to be, but a lot of the assets are 3D. But you're looking at it kind of like you're looking like cut a square in half.
Okay.
Don't cut a square in half. There are 6 sides on a square.
Talking like a cube?
Yeah, like a cube.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah, a cube. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. There's 6 sides on a cube.
Right.
Yep. You're looking at it. Take away the top one and the top side and the 2 sides you can see. And what are you left with?
Top one and the 2 sides you can see.
Basically take away all the sides you can see so you can see the inside of the, of the cube.
Yes, now I'm like you're looking into a room.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Yeah,
that's how isometric looks.
Gotcha.
So you're looking at the inside of a cube, essentially.
Are you in like a first person perspective?
No, this is all fixed camera angles.
Fixed camera, okay.
Or panning camera angles, like
Okay.
like bird's eye view, but at the isometric level,
Right.
where
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down.
like
here.
you can see the ground and you can see the wall behind you, but you're not down on the ground.
Right. Okay. Got it.
And yeah, this is what most RPGs from here on out do use isometric view. So thank you, Austin. I was gonna completely brush over that. But even what Pokemon uses. Kind of. I mean, kind of. It's a more of a 2D view, but because I should say too, isometric views you can typically rotate the camera around so you can see the entire world.
So, take Assassin's Creed for example.
That would be a third person. That's
okay.
not,
So
that's
third person
not,
is different.
Yes.
Okay.
That would be a 3D game.
Okay.
So yes.
Just want to make sure I have my ducks in a row here. So
Yes.
there is a difference there. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
So then we have Baldur's Gate, the first one in 1998. This is one of the first games that have like dialogue trees and complex storytelling, like where the story really got into it.
Mm-hmm.
But this was a later Western RPG. So it kind of was towards the shift of more hair.
No, it's just like a little tiny fly.
Funnily enough, Austin, do you know that Pokemon is also an RPG?
I didn't know it could be classified as that, but I suppose it makes sense now that I'm learning about the history of what an RPG is.
Yes, you're putting yourself in the shoes of the Pokemon trainer,
Mm-hmm.
and you're picking these different Pokemons. You're going around. You don't have to necessarily fight everybody. You can
Right.
pick.
Mm-hmm.
There's options. There's choices. You
Yes.
can pick how your Pokemon fight and all that.
It makes sense. Yes.
And then we have Chrono Trigger, which is another JRPG, which had multiple endings. One of the first instances of, hey, the choices you make, they lead to this ending, but
Right.
that's not the one true ending.
Right.
And we also had time travel. It's pretty cool. All right. Any questions about the Western versus JRPG?
No, it makes sense in the difference between the two and whatnot. So
Right. Now, Austin, what you've been waiting for.
ba-na.
Online RPGs or MMORPGs. So, give me the one we all know and love.
When I think MMO, the first thing that comes to mind is World of Warcraft.
You would be correct. World of Warcraft brought to front RPGs. I would say, excuse me, there are a few games you can thank RPGs for being so widely spread now. I mean, I would say Final Fantasy is one of them. They kind of brought it. Hey, people like this game. That's one of the first. You can definitely thank the modern RPG for World of Warcraft for the modern RPG, because it was so popular.
Yeah.
It was insanely popular.
I mean, it still is.
Exactly.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
People still play it. I mean, there's like new DLC and expansions all the time. I think it's a little controversial now, but I mean, back then it was crazy. Like,
You know what I have to say about that? Wow.
oh, Austin. That was pretty good. So yeah, I mean, you had community, you had guilds, everybody could participate in raids. There's the great Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy.
Yeah, I mean, I would say at the start of the 21st century, RPGs are what they are now. You can definitely give World of Warcraft a thank for bringing it to the modern stage. But we also have, I didn't know this, Ultima Online. They did it, 1997. It is one of the oldest MMORPGs, and it's still playable today. It is still getting regularly updated.
The OG, huh?
Yes. It's still that like 1980s kind of feel of a game.
It's kind of cool though.
Yeah.
So 1980s feel. I'm assuming they've upgraded it in a sense to where it still runs smoothly.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. I mean, I didn't do too much research on it, but yes, what I found, I found like an update from like a few months ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like crazy. It's like, yeah, patch like 121 is up. I was like, holy crap. And then I wanted to start off with outside of the MMORPGs, we have the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind in 2002. Now, if you guys don't know anything about me, I love Elder Scrolls.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I have played every single mainline Elder Scrolls game. I haven't beat them all, but I've played them all the way back to Arena, which is like old. Mm-hmm. But I haven't talked about it yet because I don't think it had a lot of impact until Morrowind. Morrowind was one of the first kind of RPGs that had a handcrafted world in first person that you could explore and kind of make your own choices. Like, you didn't have to do the main story if you didn't want to.
Okay.
It was kind of one of the first of, hey, this is a world that just go off and do stuff.
Right.
And it's all handcrafted, no procedural generation, nothing. Just a world that Bethesda built that, hey, you go explore it.
Right.
We built this, you go explore it.
Mm-hmm.
Where most of these RPGs were procedurally generated, of like all the assets were, hey, here's tree, grass, tree, dungeon. Yep. So, yeah. And it's first person. Like, it was a third person game, or a 3D game in first person.
Yeah.
Now, we get to the genre expansion of RPG video games. Now, this is where RPGs really shined. Of, you don't have to be a fantasy RPG to be a great RPG. And I think the two games that show that the best are Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, and Mass Effect. These two were insane sci-fi RPGs. Have you heard of either of these?
The Star Wars one, no. I've heard of Mass Effect. One of the very first Minecraft texture packs I ever bought was a Mass Effect
really?
texture pack.
That's awesome, actually. Have you ever played it?
I have not.
Oh,
no.
it's pretty good. Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, 2003. This had moral choices, like really deep moral choices, and a reputation system.
Ooh.
So different guilds and factions, you like the real world, these people hate you,
Right.
but these people who don't really care about that don't have a problem with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more black and white.
Yeah.
But there also is a black and white element of dark versus light side,
Right.
which is in the game.
Uh-huh.
I would also include Fable, the first Fable in this game, in this genre, where it had a moral system where you could be good or bad, but I don't think it went as in depth as KOTOR, as it's called, went. And then Mass Effect, they went for the story, like they just focused strictly on the story. I mean, the gameplay was all right, but the story was where the real gameplay was, and every choice you made had a consequence.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you told this guy you hated him, like maybe like at the end of the game, because you told him you hated him, he would kill somebody because he hated you.
Oh, okay.
I mean that
Yeah,
that's
right.
an exact example, but yeah, and it was a beautifully cinematic game. Like, every shot they were trying to make something beautiful out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just the kind of generic cutscene that most RPGs did have.
And I suppose that's kind of the melding of the two philosophies of, do we care about the story and how it looks and how it plays versus the mechanical aspect of it.
And so you would consider Mass Effect more of a action RPG.
Okay.
So there's a traditional RPG and there's an action RPG. The action RPG does take more focus on, hey, we're not going to do all these number things. We're gonna include some of the numbers like that, like this does damage, but we're not gonna go, this does X times X amount of damage if X times X is applied to X times X. You know, it's a lot more simplified.
Okay.
Then we have Kingdom Hearts in 2002. Have you heard of Kingdom Hearts?
I've heard you talk about Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts, just a JRPG. Just wanted to mention it real quick. It was one of the first RPGs that showed, hey, you can take an RPG from an established franchise like Disney and make it an RPG still. You can make a game out of something that's already existed for a very long time. And then we have Persona 3, which is another JRPG, 2006. It had life sim mechanics where going to like class and stuff would affect your stats.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, doing the actual stuff in school would help you out in the actual or outside the school.
Yep, gotcha.
And then Dark Souls JRPG again.
I have very minimal experience with Dark Souls.
Just know it's hard.
Yeah,
and it is a rough game to get through, and it's an RPG because you pick a class, you pick a character, you get you loot these different weapons, and you decide how you kind of want to play. And then my second game, or I guess my third game I want to talk about that changed RPGs forever. I know you know this game because I love this game. I wish I had my book here for it. I have a book on it. Can you guess what this game is?
You have a book on it. Oh boy.
I have a shirt. Is there anything else I have here? No.
Shirt. Oh goodness.
2011.
2011. Have we talked about this game before?
Like
in the podcast setting?
Yes. I'll give you another hint. It is the 8th best-selling game of all time.
Oh gosh. My mind, it's like a stun grenade. My just like paused in place all of a sudden.
We talked about one of its prequels already.
Like in this setting?
Yes. Yeah.
In this podcast?
Yes.
We talked about a sequel. Skyrim?
Yes.
Okay.
The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. Bethesda's baby.
I want to know what, because it seems like once an episode you ask me these questions, like one question where it's like, I know this, just give me a second to think. I just want to know what people are thinking at home. Like, just say the damn thing.
Yeah. Please, Austin, please.
Skyrim, yes, I got it.
Skyrim, it's 8th best-selling game of all time. It's an RPG and it's in the top 10. It's great, insane. It basically almost every RPG after it took something from Skyrim.
Okay.
The open world aspect, the quest system, the first person, just every RPG has taken something from Skyrim since Skyrim came out. That is just a fact. I don't care. You can come at me. That is, we would not have the games. We would not have Baldur's Gate 3 without Skyrim. We wouldn't. We wouldn't have The Witcher 3 without Skyrim.
Stand on business, Caleb.
I am.
Let them know.
We would not have these without Skyrim. It was the first game not the first game. Okay, don't come at me for that. It was kind of the first game to popularize. Oh my god! I think the fly. Oh my god! I need to 1 second, guys. I think the fly went. I think I breathed in the fly. Oh my god! Oh, that hurt. Oh, that's staying in. This is all staying in.
Is it?
This is all staying in. That was insane. I need this. Oh my god.
For those that are unaware of what in the world just happened, there's been just the tiniest little fly, maybe multiple, that have been just buzzing around, and it's been like running around on my mic, and I'm trying to like flick it away without like bashing my mic. And I think one of them just decided to suicide dive into Caleb's throat.
I just breathed it in. Like, it's still probably in my lung. Oh my god.
It's nothing a Dr. Pepper can't fix.
That's staying in. I'm not cutting this. Okay. Anyways.
Never know what's going to happen here at Balls and Blasters.
No. My voice might be a little hoarse now for the rest of this. We don't got much to go over anyways. The you get better as you do things mechanic.
Okay.
That's what I want to talk about.
It's just, anyways.
So yes, you swing a sword, you get better at the sword.
Yeah.
You shoot a bow, you get better at the bow.
Mm-hmm.
You don't earn experience points from just completing objectives. You earn them from doing things. Like you talk to people, you get better at speaking. You block something, you get better at blocking. You shoot fire magic, you get better at fire magic. It's kind of the first game to popularize that mechanic.
Use the skill you get better at the skill.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's which a lot of games will implement now into their games. Oh, sorry guys. Yeah, I love Skyrim. I will probably do a whole Elder Scrolls section at one point, because maybe a Bethesda section. But then finally, to end off our talk about the 2010s, we have The Witcher 3. This game, I also love it. The 10th best-selling game of all time. I would consider it, rating-wise, it definitely scored better than Skyrim. It's one of the highest-rated games of all time. And it's an RPG. You play as Geralt of Rivia, but yet it's one of the best RPGs of all time. The storytelling in the game, you thought like the choices you made in previous RPGs were crazy. You make a choice at the beginning of the game, and the game's like 100 hours long. It affects the end of the game and how certain things play out. That's just how much in depth it is.
It's cool.
And I think the biggest thing it had was it felt like a living, breathing world where people would be traveling on the roads. Like you could follow a person and they would reach their destination and do something else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It leaps and bounds ahead of its time. And one game of the year. Our first game of the year out of our next few ones. So now, we talked about it a little bit. D&D. This is the modern time, 2025. D&D more popular than ever. Like it's insane how popular it is. Like they just came out with 5th edition. There's people who once it was considered like a basement dweller nerd topic. There are athletes now that play D&D. Like pro athletes, like Balls and Blasters, pro athletes that will play D&D. There's videos and podcasts of people playing D&D, and you like listening and watching to the story. And there was a movie that came out recently. So yeah, Assassin's Creed action RPG. Mm-hmm. That's still rolling. They're still pumping those out.
Right.
I know you mentioned that earlier. I have a tiny little note about it because I knew you, in case you didn't mention it before. I'm so sorry. All right, Elden Ring. You've heard of Elden Ring?
I have. I've heard you talk about it more specifically.
Yes. 2022 Game of the Year. Did insane numbers. Just imagine Dark Souls, but way better. JRPG. Insane game. It beat out God of War for Game of the Year too, I'm pretty sure. No, was it God of War? Yeah, it was God of War.
Sounds like a heavyweight fight.
Yeah, that's crazy too. It's like like beating out God of War Ragnarok is insane because that was a great game and it destroyed it. So then we get to probably the most popular and highest rated game on this list. And the reason I wanted to talk about RPGs because I'm having a blast with it and I don't know why I didn't play it sooner. We have 2023's Baldur's Gate 3. Now, Austin, remember when I said that Baldur's Gate was 1997? Was that right? Yeah. 1998. Took them a long time to get to 3.
Right.
But it's by a different studio, Larian Studios. This game is literally D&D on a video game.
Interesting.
Like it is all like you take the tabletop and just put it on a screen, and you can see everything and do everything in the game. That's what it is. There's literal dice rolls in the game.
I imagine playing off of the Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, obviously, I'm assuming it's two different entities, so they can't just copy and paste Dungeons and Dragons.
It is Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, that's just
it
all
is.
it is?
It is Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
Wizards of the Coast, I think it's called.
I can understand why it would be really, really popular then, if Dungeons and Dragons has only gotten more popular.
It was not only the best-selling single-player game of 2023, it won Game of the Year as well. It did gangbusters.
Yeah.
That year, and it's still like they just stopped updating the game too.
Just stopped.
Yeah, they hey, we're gonna be done. And Larian, if you're listening, I know they probably aren't because we're a small podcast. please pick up the Fallout title and do a Fallout game like you did Baldur's Gate, please.
There's one thing I've learned is that you really want Fallout to come back to like its prominence and be fun again. Make Fallout great again.
No, I like the Fallout games. I would love if they did go back to the ice, because Fallout right now is first person. If they did go back, because Baldur's Gate's isometric.
Yes,
it is isometric. It's not like all these other games, like the Elden Rings, the Witcher 3s, the Skyrims, Kingdom Hearts, even Knights of the Old Republic. All of them are like third-person games. Baldur's Gate won Game of the Year, and it is a isometric game. Now you can play with a controller, and it can be third-person kind of, but yeah, it's just crazy that a game like this, which people are saying that the gaming sphere is becoming less and less complex and interesting. A game like that, Baldur's Gate, can win Game of the Year for being so old feeling but at the same time so just technologically innovative at the same time. So that's my talk about RPGs. Austin, I just want to ask you, why do you think they were so popular and are so popular now?
I think it's a psychological thing. I think it's video games have always been an escape from reality. And I think RPGs specifically really give you the opportunity to disconnect from your own life and be creative and imaginative in an alternate reality, or in a fictitious world, in a fantasy world, or a realistic fiction world, whatever it is, So I think that's what it is. It's just being able to put yourself in a different person's shoes, and the only consequences are how the game ends or how the game progresses.
You touched on everything I was say. I was gonna say like escapism almost. The consequences, you don't have real life consequences for being the bad guy if you want, or being the good guy. Which when I play RPGs, I find it really hard to be the bad guy still.
I do too. There's a moral compass there. Then
I think I worded that very well. I would agree with every point you made.
Oh, yeah, we're in agreement.
Any more questions?
I don't think I have any more questions. More an observation. Yeah. It seems, especially with your recent topics, where you pick something and it's like, let's just go down the rabbit hole, the basic history of this stuff. I'm always impressed with how far back the history is, and B, like, I think you do a really good job of like outlining the evolution of these topics, whether it was anime or whether it's today with RPG.
Thanks, Austin. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I know. And we could go into really deep depth. I just wanted, this is definitely a general overview. This is not, I missed a lot of stuff. I know that. But this is not for hardcore deep dives. This is for, hey, a guy like Austin who's very surface level gets the understanding better.
And I think you've done a fantastic job, and I really appreciate it. It's very enjoyable. So
thank you. Should we end her off? It's looking like it's getting pretty late here.
Getting a little late, getting a little long, but it's only fair to make up a little bit for missing last week. So.
Oh yeah.
But no, yeah. I think it's been episode 11 has been a great success.
Yes, we're glad to be back. Hopefully we keep up this, and hopefully I don't fucking swallow. swallow any more flies.
Hopefully no more random flies. It'll be nice because especially in the future episodes, the weather is starting to cool a little bit, so it makes being in this room. I haven't sweat once. This is the first episode where I don't think I've sweat once.
Isn't it great? Yeah, my AC unit isn't blasting noise, so hopefully the audio is a little cleaner too.
So, but yeah, I don't think I have anything else to add.
I really enjoyed your pitching topic too.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a great. You got one side, now you have the other side.
Right, a little 2-piece chicken tender, a little half and half. So
I feel like I understood it too.
Well, there you go. Yeah. That means I did at least for one person, I did a half a decent job of explaining. But this has been Balls and Blasters episode 11. You can check us out on YouTube, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We do have an Instagram that you can follow us on. We do have a TikTok that you can follow us on. Balls and Blasters on all of it. We've started releasing TikToks and YouTube Shorts and things of the like. So watch those. I think Caleb's doing a fantastic job with those. They're only going to get better the more he learns about them.
The more practice I get. But yeah, sorry we missed last week, but hey, we just came ready for this week. So we want to thank you so much for watching, listening to Balls and Blasters, and we'll catch you on the next one.
See you next time.